Today we'll be doing a New York Giants schedule prediction, wins and losses for each game. Last year I did this idea. I'm not a big fan of doing schedule predictions because things change week to week. Sometimes backup quarterbacks play and it changes the complexion of a whole game. So I think last year I had them going 7-9. Of course, they went like 4-12 last year, so I was a bit off there. Highballed it a little bit, but I think this year I'm just going to be honest. I don't really care what the reactions are. I'm going to give my honest to God truth about it and what's in my heart, and if you guys don't like it, then so be it. And hopefully I'm wrong. I want this team to make the playoffs, obviously. I hope Daniel Jones throws for 35 touchdowns this year and is very efficient. That would be amazing. I just gotta be realistic here. It is a tough schedule, as we know, and I don't know how many games the Giants will be favored in this year. Maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 at most. So we have to be realistic with ourselves here. But let me know in the comments what you think the record will be this year. You can do a week by week type thing or just do an overall record. That'll be fun to look at. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and let's get into it. So week number 1, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, Monday Night Football. Really cool. Joe Judge's debut, all that stuff. And I don't have them winning this game, honestly. I'm expecting a healthy Ben Roethlisberger. If it's one of the backup quarterbacks, of course the Giants can definitely win this game, but I'm expecting Ben Roethlisberger to come back, be healthy, and look the same as he used to. They have a pretty good offense. Their defense, I think, is going to be top 5 in the league, and I noticed that I think 4 out of the 5 teams I had on my breakout teams list for 2020, the Giants are playing them, so hopefully I'm wrong about that, but I expect, I like a lot of these teams the Giants are playing, unfortunately, so hopefully my assessment of those teams is wrong, and hopefully they find a way to keep these games close. I think this one will be close. I don't expect the Steelers to come in and blow us out, but I think it will be like a touchdown game, maybe a 4-point game, something like that. But I do ultimately expect the Steelers to win that game, to have the Giants starting 0-1. Week number 2, the Giants are at the Chicago Bears, and I expect them to win this game. I think, once again, this will be a close one. I had the Giants winning 21-17 in the score prediction. The Giants lost last year in Chicago. They had Mitch Trubisky last year. This time they probably will upgrade to Nick Foles. So it might be a tougher quarterback, but the Giants, once again, are a year older. I think they're a better team than they were last year, and I think Joe Judge will have to coach this game really well. This will be a close game. It'll come down to a lot of good coaching decisions and maybe some key challenges and stuff like that. So I think this will be the game where Joe Judge might actually win a game for the Giants, to be honest. So I think it'll be close. I wouldn't be shocked if they lost this game. Obviously, the Bears have a really good defense. Allen Robinson's a great receiver. Maybe their running back, David Montgomery, breaks out in year 2, and Anthony Miller. They have a lot of good offensive pieces. It really depends on how Nick Foles plays or if it's Mitch Trubisky and stuff like that. But I do expect the Giants to win this game. Hopefully they do, and that will put them at 1-1 for the season. For week 3, the Giants are home against the defending NFC champions, the 49ers, and I expect them to win this game, obviously, the 49ers, I'm saying. I have them winning by 10. Of course, when a West Coast team travels to the East to play 1 o'clock, you think maybe it's in their favor, and the Giants definitely have it in their favor for that standpoint, but everything else I feel like is in favor for the Niners. Their roster is unbelievable. They're very well coached. I love Kyle Shanahan. I would love if they won this game. I just don't see it happening. If I'm being realistic, I don't know who's going to cover George Kittle. Maybe Deebo Samuel, their stud wide receiver, who was a great rookie. Maybe he sits out due to the foot injury he sustained in the offseason, which would be nice. But maybe the Giants somehow steal this game. If I'm being realistic, though, I just don't see a way they win this game. The Niners will probably put up a lot of points as well. So maybe, but I'm just not counting on it. So after this, I'd have them going 1-2. For week number 4, the Giants go to Los Angeles to play the Rams, and this is a team that only 2 years ago was in the Super Bowl. They were great. They went 9-7 last year, which was definitely a downgrade from what they were, so a bit of a Super Bowl hangover there for sure. But the Rams still have a good offense, in my opinion. I mean, Jared Goff took a step back last year. Their offensive line did not play as well as they should have. They still have good playmakers, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. They get a rookie running back and Cam Akers, who I like. And I still like their secondary on defense, and going out west and playing Sean McVay. Two good offensive minds in a row, honestly, with McVay and Shanahan. That's definitely tough to battle against. But I expect the Rams to win this game. I have it as 28-16. So I guess the Giants could win this game if Jared Goff once again struggles this year, but I just don't see it happening. I like their team a lot. They still have Aaron Donald, obviously. I don't know how the Giants will contain him, but we'll have to wait and see. But after this, I have the Giants going to 1-3. In week 5, the Giants go to Dallas for a 425 game, and I have them losing this game. I think it will be somewhat close. I think the Giants can put up points on Dallas. Now, I know Dallas has a very scary front seven. They just signed Everson Griffin, who still played at a high level last year. They have a really good defensive line and linebackers, assuming that Van Der Esch is healthy and playing. So, yeah, that team's definitely scary, but their cornerbacks are definitely a weakness. I think Daniel Jones might have a good game against them. But on offense for the Cowboys, they just have too much firepower, in my opinion, for the Giants to handle. They still have an above average offensive line. It's not as good as it was 5 years ago or so, but still an above average offensive line. They have 3 amazing receivers now, including CeeDee Lamb to the group of Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper. So I just don't know how the Giants stop them, and Giant killer Blake Jarwin is still there, so I just don't know how they win this game. The Giants in Dallas the past few years, it's been very rough there. They won that 2016 game in Dallas, but that was a much different team. So the past few years there has been rough. I don't expect them to win this game. It would be awesome, obviously, but me just being realistic about it, I have the Cowboys winning, and the Giants would go 1-4 after that. In Week 6, the Giants are home against the Washington football team, I believe they're called. I'm going to try not to say the R word. I feel like I'm going to slip at some point, but hopefully not. But this is a team that definitely struggled last year, 3-13, and the Giants beat them pretty badly at home last year. Jabril Peppers had the pick 6, and maybe Dwayne Haskins has this big year 2 leap. You guys know I'm not the biggest Haskins believer, so I just don't see that happening. Their weapons on offense don't scare me too much, honestly. Their defense could be all right, but also doesn't scare me. I think the Giants can put up points on them for sure. I have the Giants winning this game 24-17. They could score more, honestly. I would not be surprised if the Giants put up over 30 on them. Hopefully they do, but I think this will be a relatively easy win. Hopefully I'm right about that, and after that the Giants would go 2-4 on the season. In Week 7, the Giants are at Philadelphia, and that's basically all I have to say. As a Giants fan, you probably know once you hear at Philadelphia, you can chalk it up as an L. The Giants haven't won in Philadelphia since the 2013 season. I don't know who was starting for the quarterback at them at that point. Maybe it was Nick Foles for the injured Mike Vick. I have no idea, honestly. A long time ago. But the Giants, they just never seem to win here, and Philly went 9-7 last year. They'll probably be a good team once again. Of course, them losing Brandon Brooks at guard definitely helps the Giants, and maybe they get some more pressure on Wentz. Maybe Wentz misses this game because of his injury concerns. That would definitely help, but assuming that Wentz is there and healthy and the Eagles are a healthy team, they should beat the Giants for sure. I have the score at 27-13. Maybe they can put up more than 13 points, but I don't know. The Giants just don't seem to play well in this spot. It is a primetime game, and I just feel like primetime games in Philly don't go too well. Last year in Philly was a primetime game. They were up like 14-0 at halftime. What do you know? The Eagles win the game in overtime to Zach Ertz, who was not covered. So, yeah, not good memories there, and I just think the Giants don't win this game. And after that, they would fall to 2-5 on the year. In Week 8, the Giants play the Tampa Bay Tom Brady-led Buccaneers, another primetime game on ESPN Monday night, I guess it is. So I love this Buccaneers team. They're in my breakout teams list. Their offense will be very tough to stop, obviously, with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, all those guys. I mean, this is going to be a very tough team. Rob Gronkowski, who I forget plays for the Buccaneers. So they got those guys. They still have a good defense, a good mixture of veterans and some younger players, rookies and sophomores. They still have JPP. They have Ndamukong Suh, Levante David. They have a good team over there for sure. It's not just their offense. I'd be pretty surprised if the Giants won this game. I have Tampa putting up a lot of points, 35-24. I do think the Giants can score on Tampa. They usually have done it. They've done it the past 2 years when they've played them, I think it is, or maybe, yeah, I think the past 2 years they played Tampa. It was they were at home in 2018, lost a close game, I think it was. Maybe they won. I don't even know, but they obviously won last year because of the Daniel Jones first start. That was awesome. Hopefully they do that again. I just think with Tom Brady at the helm this time, you won't get any stupid Jameis turnovers, and I think this will be a much better run team. So I do expect the Buccaneers to win that game, and that will put the Giants at 2-6 on the year. All right, this is take 2 because I said the R word, but in week number 9, the Giants play Washington at Washington, and this is a game last year in week 16, I believe they played. The Giants won in a thrilling fashion. I think it was overtime, 38-35. Caden Smith beats Landon Collins for a touchdown, so that was great. And the loser of that game got Chase Young, which I guess is nice, and the winner got a pointless win, but I'm happy with Andrew Thomas, so it's all good. So for the Giants, I expect them to put up a lot of points in this game once again. Saquon Barkley always seems to dominate Washington. I think he'll do it once again. And both of these quarterbacks should get better. Hopefully Daniel Jones is better than Haskins in year 2. So I think the Giants will put up a lot of points here. Washington probably will as well because they're playing at home. So I expect a 35-31 victory, a high-scoring victory for the Giants. And if that comes true, that would have them at 3-6 on the season. Well, look at that. I have the Giants on a winning streak in the 2020 season. I have them beating the Philadelphia Eagles at home. 1 o'clock game, 27-24 victory I have it as. I think it'll be very close. And usually when these teams play a close game, it goes in Philly's favor. Now, the Giants beat Philadelphia at home back in 2016. I think Carson Wentz threw like 3 interceptions and didn't look good in that game as a rookie. Obviously, now he's in like year 4 or 5, so it's been a while since the Giants beat the beat the Eagles in general. But I think they can do it here. I think this is another game where Joe Judge puts on a good coaching performance and somehow gets the Giants out of a close game with a victory. So, unlike what Pat Shurmur did, if Saquon Barkley's dominating this team through the first half, hopefully they stick with that in the second half, and I think they will feed Barkley heavily in this game. The Eagles don't have the best secondary, of course. Daniel Jones can have a good game. I know they added Darius Slay, but outside of that, there's really not much going on for their secondary. I do like Kayvon Wallace. We'll see how much he plays, but we'll have to see what happens. I think the Giants can win this game, and I have them going into their bye in Week 11 with a 4-6 record. So coming out of their bye in Week 12, they're at Cincinnati for 1 o'clock, and look at this, a 3-game winning streak. I think it is possible. So, of course, they have Joe Burrow. Not sure what he'll do in year 1. I'm a big Burrow fan, but the rest of the team isn't that good. I like the offseason the Bengals had, I'm not going to lie, but I just don't think their team is that good yet. They have a pretty low-key good offense. They have Joe Mixon, of course. They add Joe Burrow. A healthy A.J. Green, maybe. They add, I don't know if I said T. Higgins' name yet, but they have T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. So it is a tough offense to stop for sure, but the Giants have to put up points on them, and I think they will. So I have the score at 28-17. Maybe they score more than 17. Maybe they score like 24 or something like that. But I expect the Giants to win this game. I think coming out of the bye, they'll have a lot more time to plan for this. They have better coaching this year as they did in the past. And I think with a young quarterback, they can find some flaws in this game and find a way to have a good game plan against him. So that's what I'm counting on. If it's good coaching, they could win this game. So after that, I have the Giants going to 5-6 on the season. For Week 13, the Giants are at Seattle, a 4 o'clock game. You got to travel across the country. That sucks. So for Seattle, I had them in my teams that could decline in 2020, but of course, they're still a better roster than the Giants. I have to give them a win here. So, of course, they get Jamal Adams, familiar with the Giants last year. He absolutely killed us when the Giants played the Jets last year. He just literally took a ball out of Daniel Jones' hands and ran it back for 6. I have never seen anything like that. It was pretty cool, honestly. So you got to fear him, and I like their defense still. They still have good linebackers. Their defensive line is a bit iffy in my mind, but their secondary and linebackers is still good. Their offensive line has 3 new starters. Maybe the Giants can find a way to expose Seattle's offensive line, but even if you do, you have to find a way to tackle Russell Wilson, which is not an easy task. So we'll have to see what happens. I think Seattle wins this game. They'll probably do well on the ground here in this spot. I have them winning 31-20. Maybe the Giants can win this game if Russell Wilson's out, but I think if he's there, Seattle's probably going to win it. So 3-game win streak over. The Giants would fall to 5-7 after this. For Week 14, the Giants are home against the Cardinals, a West Coast team traveling east. That can definitely help them. The Giants played the Cardinals at home last year. Cardinals basically obliterated them with their backup running back Chase Edmonds, and they sacked Daniel Jones 7 times, 8, maybe more. I don't know. It was a lot. So, this is a tough team to stop, and they're getting better from last year, so I don't expect the Giants to win this game. Arizona is one of my favorite breakout candidates for the 2020 season. I'm a huge Kyler Murray fan. I think he'll dominate the Giants, honestly, if it's a good weather game, because last year it was in the rain, so we'll have to wait and see. But they add Hopkins. They get everyone's favorite Giant. That was almost a Giant, Isaiah Simmons, who a lot of you guys wanted. So the team's scary. They have good linebackers as well. Their secondary is kind of iffy. Patrick Peterson got to play at a higher level, but it will be a tough offense to stop for sure. I don't know how the Giants do it. I'm a big fan of Kingsbury's offense and the way he has the spread offense going. It makes the running back's job easier. They have a good running back in Kenyon Drake, so it will be a tough offense to stop for sure. The Giants can probably put up points, but I think in a boat race, I have Arizona winning this game, and that would put the Giants at 5-8 on the season. For Week 15, and here's the part where everyone gets mad at me because obviously people want to beat the Browns, myself included. It would be nice. There's a lot of former Giants on that team, especially we know Odell Beckham is there. So I just like the Browns a lot this year. They're a breakout team for me. Big Kevin Stefanski guy who had a great offense for the Vikings last year. I think Baker Mayfield is going to play at a much higher level. I know some people are out on Mayfield. I'm personally not. He's too talented to give up on. They have a great running game. They have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Now, I will say this. The Giants, if they continue to be a great run-stopping defense, which they were once they acquired Leonard Williams, and they find a way to stop their running backs and make Baker Mayfield beat them, there might be a chance where the Giants can win this game. But if it goes the way I think it'll go, Cleveland's going to be able to put up points, and I think the Giants will be able to put up points on offense as well. I have it as a 31-27 win for Cleveland, so I do have it as a close game. I think Cleveland's going to win a close one. Hopefully I am wrong because beating them would be very nice. I mean, of course, Baker Mayfield was kind of outspoken about the Giants taking Daniel Jones, which was just there's no reason to say that. So hopefully Jones is able to rub it in his face, and hopefully the Giants win that game. But I do have them losing in all honesty, which will put them to 5-9 on the season. In week 16, the Giants are at Baltimore. This will be a tough one for sure to face Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So, of course, I have them losing this game. The Ravens went 14-2 last year. They have one of the best secondaries in football. I'm personally very scared of it. So, yeah, the Giants will have a tough time putting up points for sure in this one. I have them absolutely blowing out the Giants 38-17. Hopefully, the Giants can hold them to 38 points. And, the Ravens, they might be in a position where they can rest some guys at this point in the year. Maybe it could happen, but I just don't see it happening. I don't think John Harbaugh is that type of guy, so don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. And if the Giants somehow win this game, I'd be so happy about it, but I just don't see it happening. I think the last time the Giants played in Baltimore, they got torched, and it was late in the season. I think it was 2012, actually, the year after they won the Super Bowl. So they got blown out by Joe Flacco and a good Baltimore defense back then. But it is a different team now. They're very tough to stop on offense. Once again, maybe the Giants' rush defense is really good, and they make Lamar Jackson beat them through the air. But even that might be a bad case scenario as well. So hopefully they find a way to win this game, but I don't see it happening, and they would go to 5-10 on the season at that point. And for week 17, the Giants are home January 3rd, 2021 against the Dallas Cowboys. I have them winning this game, so I don't know where Dallas will be in the standings at this point. It might be a must-win for them. And if that were the case, then maybe I have Dallas winning this game. But they might be in a position where this game doesn't matter too much. I think they'll play their starters still. And I have the Giants winning by 4, 31-27. I expect it to be pretty high scoring once again. But I have the Giants winning this one because it's at home. I know there's no fans, so it's different, but it's less traveling, obviously. And they're playing at 1 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock this time. So in Dallas, I don't expect them to win. At home in week 17, I think it is possible. Hopefully that does happen. So my final record prediction for the Giants is 6-10, and I think that's pretty realistic. I haven't had them going over 500 since making videos, so I kind of feel bad, but I'm just being honest once again. Hopefully you guys don't hate me too much, and look, I hope they exceed my expectations. That would be great. I don't care if I have to eat crow at the end of the year. I just want to see the Giants do well, but I'm trying to be realistic here. So let me know in the comments once again what you think their record will be this year. You can do a game-by-game type thing, and we'll see if we agree and disagree. I'm sure we'll disagree on the Browns game. I can see that one already. But yeah, I just like the Browns more than most people, so I apologize. But thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.